Uncensored version on Patreon, Desu. Hey guys, Eden here. Prison school. We're talking about prison school. The weeaboo's fascination with prisons is not a new thing. Countless anime make prison look either really cool, really fun, or really sexy, which is probably done intentionally because that's where all these anime fans rightfully belong. I still remember the first day I saw Pekora in that beautiful prison uniform. God, it just, it really made me want to rob my local bank and get incarcerated for 20 years so I could be with her. Because it was never about the money, it was always about sending a message. Anyways, the biggest reason I am finally reviewing this anime was because it was recommended by you guys in the comments quite a bit. So if you have an anime that you would like for me to make a video about, then you should type it on your stupid little keyboard down below. You could like and subscribe, that would be pretty cool too. Wait a second, wait just 1 goddamn minute. It's sponsor time. Today's sponsor is a little spicy to say the least. Close the door, get some tissues. Now you see this video here is sponsored by Isekai Demon Waifu, which is available on the Google Play Store, and its alternate title, Doki Doki Palace, which is available on the App Store. The link's down below. Isekai Demon Waifu is a free-to-play mobile experience, where you come back as the demon prince of the other world and write your unique legends. It's got beautiful scenery and beautiful scenery, if you know what I mean. You begin your journey in Paladina and will eventually lead troops into glorious battle as you expand your demon influence, all the while collecting consorts which help you manage things at home, and subordinates which also help you out, but more with exploration and battle. You can romance all sorts of waifus along the way of your epic journey, train your subordinates to make them even stronger and more unique, and with real-time PvP and all sorts of cosmetic customization, there really is a lot to do in this mobile game. Make friends, set up a guild, and battle side by side. If any of that sounds awesome, then make sure to download the game on the Google Play and App Store. Alright, let's get into prison school. Now, it would only be fair and safe for you all if I started this review off with a very big disclaimer. This is not your average ecchi anime. This isn't your basic bitch high school DxD. This isn't your comfort series like Data Live. This is an anime for men. Men who are ripped to the core, so if you do not fit that set of characteristics, well then I highly suggest you click off this video right now, as I truly cannot guarantee your safety going forward. Now, probably the first thing I noticed that really set this apart from other ecchi anime in my opinion is that it has genuinely got to be one of the ugliest and most unsettling anime I have ever watched. And I watched this little short called Shitcom with the poop coming out of the mouth. Okay, I have seen things. I have been around the block when it comes to these anime. But nothing could prepare me for this guy. What is that? Why do you look like that? They never explain how this man's body is capable of maintaining such a form. Also, call it different strokes for different folks, but the women in this anime aren't really doing it for me that much. For me, I would rather date a girl who has 2 miniature planes attached to her feet, but I guess that's just personal preference. Now, pressing play on the first episode, you are greeted with what is possibly the best anime opening song I have ever heard in my entire life, with beautiful lyrics like, "Escape, let's get out, it's a prison, jailbreak, it's a prison, yeah, it's a prison." Just in case you forgot the name of the anime you clicked on just seconds prior. But that doesn't matter because this girl looks kind of cute, so maybe this anime isn't so bad after all. I don't know. And maybe I should mark it on AniList right now as a 10 out of 10. But first, you guys are probably wondering, prison school. Eden, you haven't really explained that all that well. Are these characters prisoners? Do they go to a Japanese high school with a really committed ERP club? What is going on? Okay, fine. Allow me to explain the basic premise of this anime. Prison school takes place at a prestigious all-girls boarding school, but due to a declining budget, the school now allows boys to enroll as well. Only 5 boys actually enroll in the school, and my god, these are just the worst looking set of main characters I have ever seen. You know how people praise Gurren Lagann for like the silhouettes and having the perfect I want to grab them all and shove them into a giant dumpster. One day, they decide to go on what, as an avid SpongeBob fan, I can only call a panty raid, and it's pretty funny. Echoes a similar energy to Mission Impossible, mixed with a little bit of Death Note, with a small side serving of that disgusting stuff you have to clear from your search history. But during this panty raid, due to a wide array of unfortunate events, our main characters, who were simply on a valiant mission to quench their disgusting male urges, well, they got caught by what is referred to as the Underground Student Council. And what do you know? Bada bing, bada boom. They are now performing legal slave labor right in the courtyard of their school. Kamala Harris would be very proud. But wait, Eden, if this anime is just about 5 high schoolers sitting alone in a prison cell, then this anime must be really boring, right? right? Well, guys, I am here to present a novel idea. In this prison school, our 5 characters actually try to break out. I know, jaw-dropping. I was shocked when I realized this myself, and that's kind of basically the whole point of the anime. So obviously, this anime is incredibly different than most ecchi series. I mean, most ecchi anime only have one male protagonist who has, like, one interesting fact about him. Like, oh, I'm gay, I like making dolls. And then there's a wide array of anime girls that all inexplicably fall in love with him. And you get to mentally pick from the waifus that are all basically just a fuck ton of different archetypes, all bundled up to look as cute as possible. Prison School, on the other hand, has more male characters than female characters, if you exclude, like, every single background character, that is. And there is no variety. You are going to have your dommy mommy, and you are going to like it. Which, while not my personal cup of tea, the commitment to the fetish is clearly something worth respecting. But I would much rather have an Onesan than a MILF, so,
There's no point worrying about things you can't fix. There's no point worrying about things you can't fix.
Breaking out of prison is not easy, however. And our main characters of Prison School, Kiyoshi, Gakuto, Shingo, Joe, and Andre, all realize this multiple times throughout the anime. I'm talking barbed wire, hardcore punishment, surveillance, inspections, espionage. They do not have it easy. That is a lesson they all learned. But before all of that, they learned not to drop the soap because, well, I can't really show this one on YouTube, but just take my word for it. It's really hot. There are more shenanigans that ensue outside of the simple quest to break out of the prison, like relationships with other female characters in the school that function as a motivation to escape and is built upon in the way you would expect. This is mainly a comedy, but there are romance elements to be found as well. But in my opinion, the romance is kind of cringe, and the jailbreak-centered episodes are the best, so I'm gonna focus on that instead. Now, normally in Prison Break stories, you've got some hardened criminals at the forefront, but in Prison Break, you just have your typical high school virgin losers with weight problems. So the scope and scale of the story is incredibly different. You know, we aren't going guns blazing or anything. This is Japan. But even with that said, the amount of mind games, risks, and tricks that are employed to pull off even the most basic things deserves your applaud. Like when one of my favorite characters, Gakuto, literally shits himself as loud as possible in the middle of class in order to ensure the escape mission works. For context, they needed an MP3 recording of pooping sounds to fake one of them being in the bathroom as their cover for when they're actually outside of prison. It really doesn't make all that much sense if you think about it for too long, so I'm just gonna say, hey, look at this thing. It looks pretty cool, right? Prison School overall is a really interesting anime to recommend, because when I initially looked at it from the outside, you know, prior to watching, I thought it was gonna be a really weird, really fetishy, and for the most part, really mommy-pilled anime, if you know what I mean. And all of those things are true. All of those characteristics are absolutely abundant in this series, but I feel like throughout my viewing of the series, all of that kind of stuff hit the smooth parts of my brain and bounced right off. I honestly didn't retain a lot of the fan service and sexual elements of the anime, even though there are a fuck ton of them. Like, wow, look at what's on screen right now. Isn't it amazing just to think about how many countries this is probably illegal in? But after having watched the entire anime, if I were to recommend this anime to people, I would recommend it almost entirely through its comedic appeal. This anime is very funny, it is very stupid, and it has some of the most crude comedy I have seen in anime to date. Like, it gets really dirty in ways that sometimes even made me uncomfortable. Like, that's how far this anime goes sometimes. I really cannot understate it. So if you are looking to take a very deep dive into some very degenerate anime, well, then I would most definitely recommend Prison School. It's not the greatest anime, it's not gonna blow you or anything, but I think with a glass of Pepsi in one hand and maybe some milk in the other, you know, this could be a pretty good time. You will most likely laugh your ass off if you choose to go watch this anime. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about this cursed-ass anime, to be completely honest with you. So why don't we thank the patrons? Huge thanks to Capitan, Rover Road, Daniel, Joshua, Adam, Brian, Burnt Burrito, Cyber, Dal, Dusk, Everly 2, Amy Wright, John Huncho, Jacob, K-Moy, Kona, Krog, Megaton, Mental Penalty, Noobside, Elijah, Pillsbury, Prisoner, Fuggy for 20, Robert, Chicken, Skydom, Terrence, Derp Cloud, Tucktoad, Zacian, Zora, Mirage, Edric, Yabs, and all my other patrons on patreon.com.